Hello, welcome back to Joy of the Garden and Home. It's a beautiful day out there, and I have so much on my list I want to get accomplished today because it's probably the only real good stretch of sun we're going to get all week. It's looking like some kind of rain or cloudiness, just not nice the whole week. And this is leading into Easter weekend, and I'm doing the big Easter lunch, so other than doing the stuff outside in the garden, I have to be super busy inside for most of the week, which I guess the bad weather or the not ideal weather is good for that. Forces me to stay inside. But like I said, today I want to get so much done, and I don't have that many hours to do it. The kids are home for spring break. That means they're pulling me in all sorts of directions. So first, we are going to process the sunchokes that we harvested a couple days ago. One of the tasks I need to do today, because I don't want to get it rained on, is collecting that last bin of sunchokes. So first, let's process these. So this has been sitting in the fridge for a couple of days, just waiting for me to do this. Now I have the boiling water. It says, oh, these are bigger than I remembered. It says to boil for 5 minutes. So I'm guessing the big ones, I'm definitely going to do that. 5 minutes. The smaller ones maybe won't need 5 whole minutes. So I'll do this in 2 batches. I should do a timer. Let's see, 5. Okay, 5 minutes is going. Let's get this soaking. I'm going to cover it since I didn't put enough water to cover the tubers. Is the heat? Yep, the heat's good. Let that boil. And then we got to get the ice going also. All right, the 5 minutes is up. Let's get these into the ice bath. And the rest. I'm just putting them on a rack to drain off excess water because I'm going to freeze them like individually on this rack, and then after they've frozen, then I'll bag them up in the Ziploc. Oh yeah, do not discard of this water. There's nice nutrients in this. Let it cool down, obviously. Put it in a container if you don't need it right away, but save it. Save it for your garden. We are in one of the raised beds. This is where I'm going to plant some beets and spinach. But first, gotta be cleaned up. I'm going to use these to protect the seedlings somewhat. I don't have too many of them, so we shall see. I'm seeing less vole activity this winter, so I'm hoping they'll leave these alone. Unfortunately, this is an area that the dog doesn't get to monitor because she's just too destructive, because that would definitely diminish their population. I don't think there's any issue with roughing up the soil surface so that that first inch, not even an inch, or is nice and loose for the seedling to root into. Now I've got this bucket of leaf mold that I'm going to spread through. All right, I wish I was more methodical with the whole square foot model, which is what I want to use, but I'm just not. We'll do our best. Plus, these aren't round. I mean, these aren't square, so that kind of limits our project here. I think this is good for the spinach because I can do. What can I do? Yeah, I can do 4 in the corners, but the beets you can cram in closer. So I'll only be able to protect some of them. So that's what we'll do. I don't know why I'm doing these. Okay, so we'll mark them like these. So I'm thinking this is north. So I'm going to put the spinach on the north and more beets on the south because they'll be tiny for longer and they might want the sun. I don't know. And then the spinach will be harvesting before the summer ramps up. So then we could possibly plant taller things on the north, like some big greens or something. All right, so I have quite a few types of beets here. I've got golden beets, dark Detroit, and the Chioggia peppermint looking one. So we're going to do all of it. And see what comes up. So I will be doing some outside of the circles that I made. And some seeds I only do one of, and some seeds I double up on. Let's finish this package. All right, so like half the bed is beets. Oof. We've got Bloomstill, we've got Lavewa, we've got Noble Giant, we have Giant Winter, a whole bunch. Oh, I have Swiss chard in this container. Should I? No, I'm gonna put this in the other box. So let's hold off on the Swiss chard. All right. The spinach is one of these. It doesn't last, very long. So use up all your seeds. But I've had quite the opposite experience with the way I've stored them. So watch it be this season that's a failure. Let's see. Oops. Oh no, that was not the right one. I just mixed up the seeds. Oh well. Spinach is spinach. All right, I was pretty generous there. All right, let's water these in. Even though it's gonna be raining, we don't want to have them dry out in the meantime. We are back in this bed. This is where we sowed peas the other day. I am going to fill the rest of the space for the time being with lettuce because lettuce is a quick turnaround plant. Not there. Um, it'll be out of the way by the time we need this bed to put in what I want to put in, which is like either like a melon or pumpkin or squash, just a real summer annual. So it's the end of March now. That gives us all of April and all of May to have these grow out and be harvested. It's plenty good eating right now, actually. So it's not really, this is just an extra exercise for me because I want to practice this whole succession sowing thing. I plan on starting some more lettuce seeds this week to be ready to be planted out or sold in mid-May or early May, as the case may be. So that will make it 3 sowings of lettuce at least for me this season, which is the most I've ever done. Now this bag of leaves that I dumped on here, I collected from a neighbor, and they also collected a lot of walnut husks in their bag. So there's a lot of that in here, which I'm not worried about. I'm just letting you know what's in the bed. All right, that's good enough. So I have quite a bit of lettuce. I wasn't expecting them to do so well. So where's my other one? I'm just gonna plop, plop, plop as best I can. I'm gonna take off these gloves. Nothing like wet gloves to make your day unpleasant. So these are doing much better than the lettuce I submitted for the challenge, the hashtag WIG 2025. These are doing much better. I don't know if it's that soil mix that's in that particular container or it's those millipede looking animals that are ruining them, but they do not look good, particularly compared to these. Their leaves are, I don't know if I did something with the fertility and screwed them up that way. They have like leaf burn looking mess to them, and they're just not growing as well as they should. It could just be that they're not getting the nice sunlight and air that these guys are. Because these have been in and out of the house for weeks now. They've done overnights when the nighttime temperatures were not dipping in the frozen zone. So these have been treated very well. And really, this is the best most of my seedlings indoors have looked in a long time. And to be honest, I felt like this season was going to be just, I wasn't as happy with how past seasons of growing have gone. I wasn't super excited about this one either. But seeing how some of the plants are doing, I've been doing really well with uppotting, which I think has made a big difference. I've been doing better with fertilizing, which obviously makes a big difference. So how many do I have here? This is a 4-pack, and this is another 4-pack. So 6, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can space these ones a little bit more. So with the space, it looks like I have a little bit of space here. I might put in some radishes. I hadn't really planned on them, but I have the space, and they're another fast turnaround crop, which is what I want. I don't want this bed to house anything for a long period of time. So I could do radishes there. I got 4 here. I'm going to space these out a little bit. Ooh. These have really beautiful root structures. And maybe I'm supposed to be putting like mycos in the soil or something, but I forgot. So they'll just have to do with what they have, which I think this is plenty good soil. This is, I bought this, so I guess that's asking too much to say it's good soil, but it looks good, and I fed it a little bit in the fall. All right, I am very, very happy with that. Another beautiful bunch of plants are the dill. They're a little floppy, but they look really good, and they're big. I keep saying, plant these later, start them later, and I thought I did, but somehow they're still gigantic. So I haven't learned my lesson on the timing of when to put out my dill. And the cilantro too is doing really well. The parsley's behind. That's okay, but that's okay. Ooh. All right, we're done. Yay! So excited. I'm gonna take care of these leaves. There's too much here, and there's already stuff coming up in this bed that I planted in the fall. Let me show you. So we have a mixture of hyacinths in here and some garlic. I believe, I hope that that's garlic. And there's another one. It's this kind of nut. All right, so I wanna. It's too heavy. Take some of this out. All right, and then the other side definitely is too heavy. So yeah, the hyacinths are up over here, and whatever other bulbs. All right, you can go through that. All right, back from lunch. A few hours spent with the kids. A few bucks spent for the garden. Here we are again. I had to go out and get more supplies to fill the greenstalk. I only had enough for the 2, and then I ran out. So I had to get some for the last one there. And it was just the right amount because I only have this little bitty bit left over, and then I can now do the rest of my project, which is finishing this potato experiment with the burlaps. I've got another 3 potatoes here, and I'm only going to do 2 potatoes in here. I decided too late that I should cut up these giant ones, so I'm going to wait for these to callus over. And I'm just going to grow these in grow bags and in soil, regular. Well, I have some more straw, so I could still do something about that. But yeah, that's the plan. The potatoes are set. This is a temporary placement until I figure out where I want them permanently. And now we're going to tackle the last sunchokes. I planted 2 big tubers in there, so I'm confident in taking the weight of these 2 bunches and getting a pretty accurate read on how much it produces. I'm going to say it was about this size, 3 inches. Little bigger than the golf ball size that I planted. So let me wash these up and scale it. Alrighty. Now I should just tear that. Okay, that's in grams. What do I want to do first? Let's weigh the stuff we froze, actually. So this came from 1 bucket. So this is ridiculous for just a bucket. I don't remember how many tubers. I know I left a bunch of little tubers in there. So that would account for all the tiny baby ones that we're getting now. So the one we just blanched that came out of a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket is weighing it at 1,172 grams. Oops, not that. Oh! Wrong button. Anyway. Now I gotta put this away. Now this one is the bigger of the two from the bin harvest, which is about 27 gallons. That container holds onto water quite a bit better. So these tubers have not started to reroot yet. I don't know if that's why. Whereas the ones in the smaller buckets were already trying to regrow. It could be that it was also out in the sun more directly. So this is at 1 pound, 15.5 ounces. That's nearly 2 pounds. Let's change it back to grams and see how that compares. 893 grams. So what was the other one? 1,100 or something? So that's that one. And then this is the smaller of the two, coming in at 776 grams or 1 pound 11 ounces. That's not too far off from the other one. All right, finished the day with a couple of radishes, this matang hong, and cherry bell. Holy moly, I actually finished everything on my list. I gotta put more things on the list next time. Just kidding. That was plenty. I am pooped. I got stuff on the list. I got some stuff that wasn't even on the list done. So I'm really proud of how the day went. And it was beautiful all day long. Oh, ignore the greenstalk. That's another day. Another day's project. All right, thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. I will talk to you all again soon. So I'll harvest more. Bye.